I think he said a little more than that too, right?
Yeah, oh, yeah. He said a few things. The weigh-ins have just been on, and like you went to shake his hand and put the hand away like that.
We're back at it with another episode here, another card breakdown. Not a UFC pay-per-view, which is what we usually do, but UFC London, right? So it's almost like a pay-per-view in and of itself. Joined again by yinyangmonkey, my friend Sam. How are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm very good, sir. It's good to see you once again. We've got UFC London. I got to represent for the Brits here. So, yeah, I can't fucking wait, bro. Can't wait.
100%. Does that mean I should be like on the side of all the Americans now?
Maybe, maybe
Yeah.
it's kind of like we take our picks and then we'll see. But now we're on the same side, bro. Above all, I just want good fights.
I think that's what every fan wants.
Yeah.
And without further ado, I want to get right into it, right? Let's give them what they do want, which is fight breakdowns, all that good stuff. So we got the main event, Curtis Blaydes versus Tom Aspinall. What are your thoughts on that fight?
You know what? Like, I think Tom Aspinall just looks so fucking elite in everything he does. Like, what he done to Volkov last time. He moves like a middleweight. Him and Cyril Gane have got similarities in that way. But Curtis Blaydes, he can wrestle like fuck. He wrestles like, so that might be an issue for him. Generally speaking, Americans who are like collegiate wrestlers and stuff, they always say Brits don't have no wrestling, but Tom Aspinall is a complete martial artist. And again, Curtis Blaydes can shut your lights up as well. So this one makes me nervous, being a huge Tom Aspinall fan. It makes me like, I'm not sure how it's going to go, but I'd say Tom Aspinall's probably up to the occasion to get the job done. How do you feel about it?
I tend to agree with you on that. I think it may be a better fight than a lot of people may think. I mean, I don't think so. I mean, look, the odds looking at him now, it's minus 130 for Aspinall, plus 110 for Blaydes. So it's pretty, not even money, but it's a close fight. But I do think they have it right. I think it's a good fight. I think Curtis Blaydes possesses the ability to win this fight 100%. But I'm going to go with Tom Aspinall here. I just think he's more dangerous in all aspects of the fight. But I don't think it's smart to start, because I do think Tom Aspinall is superior in the submission. Curtis Blaydes superior in the wrestling. But I don't think it's smart for Tom to even engage in that. Keep this fight standing. I think you're a better striker. Curtis Blaydes is no slump, though, in the striking. What do you think?
No, he's not. No. Yeah, I mean, the method of victory at Tom is, like I said, he's versatile anyway. He could probably do what he wants, but I don't think we've really seen his wrestling. He's very good at grappling, but as far as like scrambles and stuff like that. So it's fascinating, mate. But I think Tom Aspinall can win either way. Like, he's just got something special about him that, I've always been a fan, but seeing what he did last time out. And only 3 months ago, mate, he was in the exact same arena with the exact same crowd. So that's got to have an advantage to it as well. Like, has this ever happened before? 2 main events, like if one fighter headlining the same, like 2 main events in 3 months. Has that ever happened before?
Same place.
Yeah, it's so weird.
I don't know, man. Has that ever happened? I don't think so.
No.
Right?
No, but I couldn't believe it. I mean, we'll get on to the fight next, but even Tom Aspinall was main event in this, even when Darren Till, like, so he's headlining above Paddy Pimblett and Darren Till when he was, before he dropped out. So yeah, I thought he's got star power now as well. I guess the UFC should believe in him, and I'm hoping he gets the job done. But Curtis Blaydes, no slouch, so it's probably going to be. Maybe I'd love for it to be like a 5-round war, see what he's really capable of, because Tom Aspinall's only had a short time in the octagon in like 4 fights. So we'll see what happens there.
One, I do think Tom Aspinall can win this fight in all categories of the fight, in any aspect of the fight. I just think Curtis is a better wrestler, but I think Tom, if he catches him, it'll be maybe off his back after getting taken down, or maybe like he hurts him, gets him on the ground, gets him like a guillotine or something. I could see something like that, because he can finish it there. But I want to talk about what you just said, right? Fight to go long, because for the most part, Curtis Blaydes is durable, right? We've seen it. Unless you have like TNT in your hands, right? Derek Lewis, TNT in his hands, Francis Ngannou, TNT in his hands. Maybe the 2 heaviest hitters in the history of the sport, you could argue. Do you think Tom Aspinall has that one punch? Doesn't have to be like that, because I don't think he possesses it like they do. But do you think he has that one punch knockout power?
Well, I've seen it. He does, but not to guys who are world class like Curtis Blaydes. Like when he first came up on the scene, I think it was in the Apex. He's shown that he's knocking people down with elbows and shit, and he's always been very hard hitter. But Curtis Blaydes is a different animal. But we'll see. I think I've seen Tom Aspinall throw some high kicks as well, and that just shows like the athleticism of a guy that big.
Yeah, he's very good. He's like a Cyril Gane almost in a way. I'd love to see that fight. Speaking of
on
that,
that note,
go ahead.
yeah. Were you going to say what I think you were going to say?
Yeah. Speaking of that, I'd love to see that next, right?
Yeah. So I can't argue against my guy Tai Tuivasa. He's like a fan favorite. He's probably one of my favorite fighters. Well.
Aren't they fighting next?
Tai Tuivasa and Cyril Gane, yeah.
Okay, I forgot about that. That's why. Forgot about that.
Yes,
that's a great fight.
So basically, what a few people have said is like it's kind of like a semi-final. So the winner of this will be the winner of UFC Paris, which is in September. Tai Tuivasa and Cyril Gane.
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, but everybody, let's be honest, everybody really it'll be weird if Curtis Blades ends up against Tai Tuivasa because the UFC, and I'm sure Dana wants Tom Aspinall versus Cyril Gane. That's what the fighting fans want. Who wouldn't want to see that fight? Those two heavyweights. That would be sick.
Yeah, because you want to see somebody that you think is at least credible enough to beat him. Curtis Blades, I don't think the UFC hates Curtis Blades per se, even though Dana wasn't happy after the Volkov fight of him just wrestling him for 5 rounds.
Yeah,
but I don't think the UFC hates Curtis Blades. I just think that they know, he's down 0-2 to the champ. And anytime someone's down 0-2 to the champ, got knocked out twice, it's a hard fight to sell. You know what I'm saying?
It is. Oh, yeah. To be honest with you, I completely forgot about that as well. I knew they fought, but like when you speak about it in terms of that, yeah, that's a hard sell. It's a good point. So, yeah, but I mean, I think, like you said, Tom Aspinall will get it done, which I'm surprised at. I thought you were going to go Blades for some reason, but yeah, Tom's on the up and up, isn't he? Number 6 in the world now. It'd be a statement as well.
It doesn't seem like the guy's that eager to fight for the title. I saw like him do an interview where he was like, yeah, I mean, I'll fight for the title in 2 years or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, you're like a win away from a title shot. What do you mean?
Yeah, I know. But he's just like, I don't know. He's very humble. Like when you're that good, there's no denying it. If you keep winning, you're going to end up climbing the ranks. You're going to have to fight soon. But yeah, let him have it. Hopefully he has another good moment tomorrow. In that crazy UK crowd, so let's go.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure on him. I did forget about the Gane Tuivasa thing. That's going to be a good one. So it'd be interesting to see if the winner of these two fights face each other. Number 1 contender fight. That makes sense because I don't think this fight feels like a number 1 contender fight.
No, not at all. No, especially with that luminous. Maybe if that Tai Tuivasa and Gane fight wasn't on the horizon. But yeah, like the UFC are clever, man. If they must set these things up on purpose, man. Everything's got a little storyline somewhere.
100%. They know what they're doing.
100% they do. So, yeah, man, it'll be cool.
Yeah, so we got the co-main event of the evening. This fight's this whole card's a little bit weird because you could say co-main event, but it feels like there's like 3 fights below it that are better. But whatever. Jack Kermanson versus Chris Curtis, a really good fight. Chris Curtis rather was supposed to be Darren Till in this fight, right? Darren Till pulled out with the injury. What do you make of this one?
This fight here, you know what? Chris Curtis, he's relatively new to the UFC. I watched a few of his highlights, so I understand. Like he's a tough guy. I think he's experienced as fuck, so he might have a shot. He might just crack him. He looks like a big middleweight as well.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if you watched the weigh-ins. The weigh-ins were Chris Curtis like seems just totally relaxed for like a guy who's stepped in relatively short notice and like just coming over to the UK, and he's a dog, man. His back was against the wall. His US like fighting career, wasn't it? Like I'm sure he was on Contender Series, dropped out, had to work his way back in these smaller promotions. Now he's co-main event at UFC London, so he's got heart. But Jack Hermanson, you can't count him out. I thought if he was going to be fighting Till, that Hermanson would probably get it done because he's a good wrestler. Not compared to Hamza, because I remember Jack Kermanson and Hamza had that wrestling fight. Nobody's as good as Hamza though, but if I had to pick, I'm going to say Chris Curtis gets it done.
I'm with you on that. One thing that's interesting about this fight, Chris Curtis prepared for a very high level, forgetting the name of the guy now, but prepared for a very high level jiu-jitsu guy before this fight. And he fought recently. Remember, he fought like a month ago. He took this fight on short notice. So he's got the momentum. He's right now he's in a flow where he's been training so long against guys that are trying to take him to the ground. And then just overall, he has really good takedown defense. And I do think he's going to do enough over the course of just 3 rounds. I do think he'll do enough, maybe win 2 rounds, keep it standing enough to where he lands enough shots. I think he'll win the fight.
Yeah. Let's not forget he's on like a 7 or 8 fight win streak.
Yep, 3-0 in the UFC.
3-0 in the UFC.
Mhm.
But and I was looking through this guy's record as well. This was back when PFL were doing like, was it the 3 nights a night or something? Do you remember when they were doing that? I looked on his record. The guy's fought twice in a night in recent years. Like that's like some old school pride shit.
It is.
So yeah, he's a dog, and I think he'll get it done. But Kermanson, a very good grappler. We'll see, man. It could go either way. Like
Jack's the favorite.
He is, yeah. UFC, they've done a really good job on this one because there's not like any fights. Well, so far in the main card where you're like, oh, she's obviously going to win. Or he's obviously going to win. Every fight's like, pretty
good fights. Good fights.
Close.
Every fight, you're right about that. Feels almost like they're kind of close to each other.
Mm-hmm.
You said Darren Till you think would have lost this fight against Jack. I do agree with that. I don't know what's going on with Darren Till, man.
Nah, it bums me out, bro, because I've been such a huge fan, and it's just like kind of the rise he was on, and now it's like 2 fights he's pulled out of, and like I don't care if he shows up and gets beat. And I get it, injuries happen and stuff like that. But as a fan, it's just kind of like maybe I thought he was going to lose because I just haven't seen that side of him in a while. And believe me, I don't think that's gone. Like this whole thing with Hamza and him training and stuff, I believe like that's going to help him greatly. But it was just who didn't want to see Hamza in his corner for this co-main event, yeah. And not to like disrespect of Chris Curtis or whatever now, but in London as well, and it would have been redemption for that nasty Masvidal knockout 3 years ago, potentially.
It would have, right? It would have been a good way to pay that back.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Feels like Till's always out of shape too. No, now, right? Always when he doesn't have a fight, he's always out of shape.
I think it's a Liverpool thing. I mean, look at Paddy in between these fights.
I was going to say.
Yeah. It's just a Liverpool thing, though. I don't know what it is. They do not give a fuck about anything.
That's so funny. But Paddy seems to have gotten it, and let's get into that one. Paddy seems to have gotten his weight down, though, right? People, I've seen that that he's already started. People still like to clown about the weight, but I think I've seen that Paddy started even before the fight was announced, or maybe even before camp. Paddy already started to cut out all the food and everything.
Yeah, man. I remember. I think it was the first podcast we ever done. We were talking about Paddy, and I was like, I think it's part of his shtick. Like, I don't think he's stupid enough to like put on all that weight to go in there and risk your life against like a fighter and that. The internet people will be the internet people, won't they? People are crazy and that. But I've never seen a fighter beef up that much. But he's on weight, so yeah, he's his character he doesn't look like a fighter. Maybe he doesn't look like a fighter in between fights, but when it comes down to going down to business, it seems to it works.
It does work, right? He gets the wins. What do you think about that fight? Do you think he gets the win again?
It's definitely his biggest test yet. And I've never seen him this angry on a fight week. I don't know if you've been keeping up with all that, but he says he wants to just punch a hole through his face and that, and it made us watch the press.
I think he said a little more than that too, right?
Yeah. He said a few things. The weigh-ins have just been on, and like he went to shake his hand and put the hand away like that.
Saw that. Yeah, the weigh-ins literally just happened, right?
Yeah, it just happened. Yeah, so we're doing the podcast because it gives you an idea of like who's up for it. I think sometimes and I'm not Jordan Levitt. Did you see Brett O'More called him Justin Levitt? You had one job, Brett. It's to call the American the right name. I mean, but I think Jordan Levitt. Yeah, he called him Justin Levitt in the Paddy interview.
Really?
I was like, what are you doing? Yeah,
Brett Okamoto?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really a big fan of that guy, but yeah.
He just asks the most simp questions. Sometimes it's fucking annoying.
It's like he was made in a lab in the UFC. He was like made in a lab.
Yeah. I think Dana likes him.
Yeah.
I think he's on Dana's payroll. Well, he probably is literally, but but as far as this fight, like I thought before the weigh-ins that Jordan Levitt was he's only fought in the Apex. And
really?
Yeah. I looked. He's only fought in the Apex.
He's in for a rude awakening.
Yeah, man. Like this crowd is gonna be mad against Paddy Pimblett, who gets the biggest pop of the night. And then he said something in the press conference that, "Oh well, we're going to be fighting around 9 o'clock. Are you going to be scared of the crowd?" And he was like, "No. people aren't going to be drinking at 9 o'clock or something. I was like, what are you talking about? You're in the UK. Everyone's going to be absolutely obliterated. So, yeah. But he's a good fighter. Bit of a weirdo. I don't mind saying that. Everyone will say that he's a bit strange. He's got something in his eyes. But we'll see how it goes, man. I think Paddy, I don't know. I'm still nervous about his chin. Like how he fights with his chin in the air. I'm still nervous about that, and he could get clipped. But is Jordan Levitt known for having a hard punch? Or no?
That guy's like
So you think?
like almost like a submission specialist. You know what I mean?
Oh, right, okay. So in that case, I think Paddy will go forward and take his head off.
I think Paddy wins too. I think it's a good fight though. Definitely Paddy's toughest challenge in the UFC thus far. One thing that's interesting about this fight, you look at both fighters overall. Jordan Levitt, good jiu-jitsu, but I don't know that he even has better jiu-jitsu or submissions than Paddy Pimblett. I don't know that. Paddy Pimblett, everyone talks about his stand-up. Look at how many finishes the guy has on the ground.
Paddy is so good, man. If you look at some of his Cage Warrior stuff where he was champion, some of the like triangles and that, like mounted triangles and that, he's a very, very good grappler.
Very good.
Very good. So I think either way it goes, I think Paddy gets it done and the other two will go crazy.
And then, but let's play devil's advocate here, right? Let's say on the ground it's neutralized, right? They're both the same. Let's just say in the stand-up, Paddy's better than him. Paddy's legitimately good in the striking. And like you said, Paddy could overexpose himself and get caught. I think Paddy is more prone to overthrowing a shot and getting taken down because he does that a lot too.
Yeah, well, in his first fight, he got clipped, and I just think it was pure aggression how he got it done. He was like literally ran forward, swinging his arms, and he might have to do that again. But you know, Paddy's got heart, man. He just doesn't give a shit, you know. So I think he's gonna probably do the same. He's gonna want to make it exciting as well. He's charismatic. He's an entertainer, and he won't let a fight be boring. I don't even think he's been out the first round yet in the UFC. So I think he'll want to make that happen again. And again, going back to the fact he's pissed, like.
Never seen Paddy like this, man.
No,
this is different. And this one, you know, it's again, you like it when there's a little bit more heat to it. Jordan Levitt said that he was gonna like knock him out and then twerk on him, and I'm like, I don't know if that's really.
Yeah. You probably have to get escorted out. No, but I mean, the things that Jordan Levitt was saying in the press conference weren't too bad, but he just doesn't seem impressed at all by Paddy, like not even giving him props as far as his popularity and just kind of like shutting it down. It might be his own way of like his own like way of mind games or such, but you know, to come to the UK and like just be like, this kid ain't shit and that, and see what happens, bro. See if he learns to eat his words. But again, just hoping for a good scrap, man.
Question though for you. Paddy wins this fight. Is he fighting a ranked guy next? You're 3-0 in the UFC. You got to fight the best, right?
Yeah. Well, he's got a new contract. I know that much.
Okay.
He's been kind of bragging about it. He's got a new contract. So I'm assuming it's a big pay rise, knowing that the numbers he pulls in now. I don't know. It took Sean O'Malley longer, didn't it, to fight a ranked guy? Maybe like five fights or something like that.
I remember he fought Cheeto, but then he got the unfortunate injury. Cheeto was like 15.
Yeah. Oh, right, okay, yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's a similar thing, isn't it? So maybe one more for this. Who knows? I mean, I'd like to see him. I'd like to see him go well and see what he's really capable of. But you can't look past the Monkey King on Saturday because let's think about it. If you watch his unorthodox fighters, they have their ways. Like, and is he undefeated?
I think he's 10-1, something like that.
Right, not a bad record.
He's dangerous.
So, yeah, he is. Well, yeah, I'd like to see if Paddy wins, but it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good, bro. UFC London, man. I don't know if the event can top last time. Last time was just so special because obviously in March 2019 the event got cancelled. No, March 2020, sorry, because of COVID. And then it was like a 3-year wait, came back, but I think the fans will turn up. It's like every time you go to a boxing fight on a Saturday, like if it's like an Anthony Joshua or a Tyson Fury, the British fans just love to see fighting, and it's just an atmosphere like Nova. I mean, Dana White's saying if you get on a plane, like, and check it out. So I can't wait. Are you gonna watch it live?
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it. I think it'll be around in like the afternoon here. It'll be in the
Yeah.
afternoon.
Well, I think it's 5 o'clock this time. So it'll be about midday. The prelim starts. So that'll be cool.
It's nice to not have to wake up early, right? To just be able to watch a fight. Or
Yeah,
stay
yeah,
up
yeah.
rather. Stay up, which is even
Oh man,
worse.
I can't wait. It's like prime time. Like I can go to bed at a decent time just to get my fight fixed. So that's always good.
Yeah, and there's 6 fights on this card, which is interesting, which I don't mind it. And then you
Yeah.
compare this one to the last UFC London, you're right. I also think the prelims were better on the last UFC London. If you look at them, they were a little
Hmm.
bit better. But
Yeah.
good card though.
But there's a lot of same fighters to be fair. So
Yeah,
yeah, just different opponents.
for sure. And it would be in fairness to this card, I think if Darren Till were on it, it would be way more exciting. But you know,
It would. Yeah, it's just one of those things. I'm sure he's not happy about missing it, and he's been through, like, he's had the humility to leave Team Carbon, his gym, and go train with I think it's All Stars in Sweden. Like,
yeah.
he doesn't have an ego, and he just wants to improve. And I really wanted to see how much he had improved. And I think Jack Kermanson was a good opponent. It's not like he's against like a proper wrestler, you know.
Right, because Brunson at
Uh,
least was going to damage him on the ground. Jack Hermanson doesn't really do anything on the ground. I mean, you have the threat of the
no,
submission, but he's so like he's so not busy on the ground. Like he just stays on
no,
top of you.
yeah, yeah. But
Yeah,
it
yeah.
is what it
It's
is. So
interesting, man. It's interesting because you want to know what would happen if we saw Darren Till against another grappler. Can he right the wrong being at Hamzat's camp
hmm
now? A guy who is a
hmm
mauler on the ground, a guy
hmm
like that training, working on you, grinding on you every day.
Yeah, yeah.
But we're not going to be able to see it. You know, is the UFC going to give him a similar matchup, like or another wrestler or whatever, or a grappling guy in the next fight? We'll see.
Yeah, at this point, mate, I just want to see him back in there. I didn't even check out to see what the injury was, because at this point, it was just sad not to see him in there. But I'm sure I'll be back. I've got faith in him.
Yeah. So this next fight, we got Nikita Krylov versus Alexander Gustafsson. You mentioned the weigh-ins, why it's good to watch them. Another reason why is because it gives you an idea of where the fighters are. Do they look drained? How do they look? Alexander Gustafsson, the last fight that he lost against, what was it, Verdum at heavyweight? Which was kind of, I didn't even know he fought Fabricio Verdum.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can't really
Yeah.
remember, to be fair. It rings a bit. I'm sure. I know he went up the heavyweights.
Yeah, he got submitted against
Um,
Verdum quickly. But if you look at the fight, right?
oh yeah, yeah,
You look at that fight, and I'll start on this one by saying, if you look at the fight, it just looked like it just looked like Alexander Gustafsson with a stomach at heavyweight. Like some fighters, like
yeah, yeah.
Fedor, some fighters fill in perfectly because they have a heavyweight frame. Gus did not look good at light heavyweight. It just looked like
No,
an
no.
out of shape version of him. You look at his losses as light heavyweight, the last two that were like his two fight losing streak at light heavyweight before he also lost at heavyweight.
Hmm.
It was John Jones and Anthony Smith. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, yeah, not at all. Especially, I mean, you want the goats, John Jones. You know, that's when
Yeah.
Jones came back at the peak of his powers, and that was a good fight. He put up a good case for himself until I think it was a TKO in the fourth or something like that. I can't remember right now, but I just think he's been around for so long, Gustafsson now, and I don't know, man. He's not ranked anymore, is he? Like, it's just I
No.
don't know. I don't know. It's like Nikita Krylov, he's still up for it. It's just might go on those things, but you can't count out these vets, man. So again,
No.
I can't even pick a winner in this one. But if I had to pick, I'd say Krylov gets it done.
It's an interesting fight because Gustafsson really hasn't been active at all either. Like he had that one fight against Verdum or whatever. The fight had heavyweight. He had that one. And then before that, he had a pretty long break off. So I don't know. I think the inactivity will get him. Krylov isn't a world beater. He's not a world beater by any means. You know, he takes a
No,
lot of losses. He's beating guys like Johnny Walker, went to a split decision with Glover Teixeira.
yeah,
But not the craziest, grappling wrestling guy. I do expect this fight to be standing. Um,
yeah.
what Gustafsson are we going to see?
Well, let's just say it. I mean, out of the main card, this is the fight where everyone's like, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be a good fight. Hopefully, it's like a 3-round war or something like that. But just in like you've got Paul Craig and Molly McCann fighting underneath that. It just doesn't. I don't know.
It
But
feels weird
Gustafsson,
that
legend.
this isn't like the first fight, right? Or like a prelim fight, right?
It should be the future about the prelims.
Yeah, that wouldn't be
That would
bad. I
make a lot
wouldn't
of
mind
sense.
that. The prelims could use
But
a little something, to be honest.
yeah, yeah. I mean, there's a few stars who I want to. Well, there's like one kid on the prelims I want to talk about, but we'll get to that
Same,
when
yeah,
uh
yeah.
when we get to that. Yeah, but
So what's
yeah.
your
I mean,
prediction for this one? Final prediction?
Krylov. I think Krylov gets it. He's favorite anyway. But would I like to see Gustafsson roll back the years? Of course I would. I mean, I hope Gustafsson wins, but it's kind of like what about? I don't think he's quite almost ready to pack it in like Cowboy was, but I think he's getting there. Wait, hasn't Gustafsson retired before?
Yeah, he retired and then he went to
Yeah,
heavyweight.
what the fuck's he doing? What's he doing? Now he's back
Yeah.
at heavy. Oh god, yeah, no, yeah, he should retire. Come
Yeah.
on, let's go, bro. Maybe one last one. We'll see. But yeah, I totally forgot he retired there until I thought about what's he
It
doing.
almost just feels like we're gonna get like a lesser version of Gut. He's back in shape now, but it just feels like we're gonna get a lesser version of the light heavyweight Gustafsson we used to know. So I'm gonna go with Nikita Krylov on that one.
Yeah.
Next fight on the card, Molly Mccann versus Hannah Gold. What do you think about that one?
Yes. Yeah. To be honest with you, I haven't seen Hannah Goldie fight much. Obviously, I follow Molly's career. She's a savage. I also recently learned that she's cousins, or like half cousins of Katie Taylor. You know the
Who?
boxer. You
McCann?
know who fought? Yeah, yeah, they're cousins or half cousins. She kept it secret, yeah. But so she's got the fighting spirit in her. But Molly McCann, after that last knockout, that could be knockout of the year. We're only in July. That could be knockout of the year. That spinning elbow,
Yeah, yeah.
and she always just comes to fight as well. So I can't really make a big prediction because I haven't really seen much of Hannah Goldie, if I'm honest. Um, but Molly McCann, she's a beast, man, and she made a star of herself after that last outing. She done herself proud and won a knockout. Like I haven't seen a girl go down like that. It was quite scary actually how long that girl was down after that spin elbow.
Yeah, you don't really see knockouts like that in female divisions. But yeah, Hannah Gold, the girl that she's fighting, I
Yeah.
think I do think that this is one of the, maybe like you said, this is a card with a lot of, the main card at least has a lot of fights that are like pick 'em fights, really close. I think this is the most lopsided one in my opinion. I think the odds makers agree with me on that one. Molly
Molly McCann.
McCann is good. She's been around the block. One thing I'll say is I hope she doesn't get too excited over the last knockout because she's not really known for being a one punch
Yeah,
finisher
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. And
Yeah,
then
exactly. Yeah.
Hannah Gold, what I'll say is it's kind of a fight that's set up for Molly. It's like what you said. The UFC knows what they're doing. Hannah Gold's like
Yeah,
six
yeah,
and
yeah.
two, but she's on a 2-fight losing streak. She's 1-2 in the
Oh,
UFC.
really?
So it's they know what they're doing. Again, no
Yeah, of course,
disrespect to
yeah.
Hannah Gold, but I do pick
Yeah, of
Molly
course,
McCann.
yeah.
She's just a well-rounded fighter, a better fighter, way stronger resume, way more
Yeah.
experience. You know what I mean? She got the momentum, the crowd behind her. It just feels right.
And they want to make it a good event. She's loved at UFC London, so it's kind of like what they do in boxing. But
Yeah.
this is mixed martial arts is different. And Hannah Goldie, she's a professional mixed martial artist, and when there's two people in there, you can't count anyone out. I did notice though, the weigh-in's just gone. She looks shredded though.
Molly,
She's a
right? Yeah.
jacked girl. No, Hannah.
Oh, okay.
Well, Molly's called Meatball.
Molly
She's
looked
always
good
packing.
though. Molly looked in shape. That's why I thought you were
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about her. They both look, but I don't know. Maybe it's just because of the weigh-in, right? She's a little sucked in. Maybe it'll get back, right?
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
probably, yeah. But I mean, I'm gonna have to probably pick Molly because I wasn't aware that Hannah Goldie was on a 2-fight losing streak, but that just might make her more hungry. She might want to go after it. So, but I mean, after last time, I think let's just see Molly put on a show. So I'll
Yeah.
have to go with Molly. How do you think?
Yeah, I got
Same.
Molly. I think Molly with a 3-round fight, I'll give her a decision win. I don't see her as this like one punch finisher, but I think she'll ride the momentum, more experience. She'll
Yeah.
win a decision, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah. So let's get into the first and last fight that we're breaking down in the main card. Paul Craig
Yeah.
versus Volkan Oezdemir. What do you think about that one?
This one has got me so excited from just. Did you watch the wins or not? Because
Dude, Paul Craig was like staring him down like he took his lunch money. This might
yeah,
be
yeah,
fight of the
yeah,
night.
yeah. It might be. But Paul Craig, like he's out the fighting Scotsman. You know what I mean? Like he wears the Braveheart mask.
Like
Comes
he's
out
going to
there
a fucking war.
like he's going to war, man. Like literally, that's what Braveheart is. That's why he wears it. He's going to war, and he's got the whole of Scotland on his back. So But Ozdemir is a fucking savage, man. I don't know if he took a bit of a lull as of late, but we can't forget that at one point in the light heavyweight division, he was key to be like the next one, wasn't he? He was the dark horse.
Yeah, we fought DC for the title.
Yeah, that's right. It's still this is a top 10 light heavyweight fight. This is going to be I agree. Fight of the night in this one.
Yeah, and I'm taking this to be my fight of the night too.
Yeah, who like Paul Craig, last 2 fights taking heavy damage and then submitting both of them. So Paul Craig is an absolute like I said before, he's going to war, man. But like I can't pick a winner in this one. I just can't. Gun to my head, I can't, because I think Paul Craig's submission game is just amazing, and Volkan Ozdemir, like the power he possesses, and it's fight of the night.
Fight of the night. I agree with that. One thing about this fight is it's going to be unpredictable, right? You don't really know what's going to happen. That's why it has that mystique around it, but it could be a slugfest. Volkan kind of been on a downfall, it feels like, right?
Yeah. Well,
I look at his record here.
Well, when you're at the top of any division, the fights get harder, and then you end up losing a few in a row. So, I don't think he lost a few in a row, but it wasn't that consistent compared to what it was.
Yeah, I'm pulling that up right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm curious to see.
So he lost to Ankalaev. He beat. He lost to Yuri.
Yeah.
Lost to Rakic. Beat Latifi, right? Yeah. I mean, so he's kind of on a downslide, but he has lost to, Dominic Reyes obviously starched him too. Kind of on a downslide, but again, when you're facing the best guys in the division, it's hard to say, right? Here's one thing though, is he better not get anywhere near Paul Craig in the submission, because Paul Craig's going to snap his, he's going to snap a ligament off. Paul Craig is so dangerous in the jiu-jitsu.
Savage, man. Absolute savage.
An animal.
I mean, I don't get us wrong. I want Paul Craig to win. He's just a likable guy as well. Like, very nice guy.
He's partying with his opponents after the fight. You saw that?
Yeah, man, of course. Yeah. With
Jamal Hill.
Yeah, Jamal Hill. Yeah, I've seen that. He'd probably do the same with Ozdemir, man. It's just he's just a fun guy, but when he's in that octagon, he's savage. But it could go either way, mate. So I don't know. Do you have a prediction for this? Yeah,
I'm gonna go Paul Craig by submission.
Safe bet.
Yeah,
safe bet, like stylistically, but yeah, considering Ozdemir's on a bit of a slope, but I don't know. I never count Ozdemir out.
But if you have a decision, that means you got Volkan though, right? Because like you said, Paul Craig has been lit up, right? There's a couple of times he's been lit up. Do you think Volkan wouldn't be outscore him if they did go 3 rounds? I think he would outscore him.
I don't think this is going to go 3 rounds though.
Right.
I just don't see it. Yeah.
How do you see a finish from Ozdemir though? You think Ozdemir could knock him out?
I think Ozdemir can knock anyone out on his day.
Yeah, he can.
So it's just going back to what I've seen from him in the past. Like, you don't really lose that power, and Paul Craig gets smacked a lot, but Paul Craig can take it. That's the thing. So I'm not sure. Maybe I might go with you with this one, Paul Craig by submission. So sounds like a decent bet, to be fair.
Yeah, so as we wrap up here, let's talk about a couple of exciting things you find from the prelims.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? Any big fights, any fighters to look out for? Yeah,
100%. It's pretty much, I mean, the prelims are a bit, there's a couple of fighters I want to shout out. Nathaniel Wood.
Yes.
He was meant to fight in March.
He's the one I was going to bring up.
Yeah, he was going to fight in March, but obviously the fight got cancelled. So it's good to see him back. I know, he was, it sucked for him last time that he had to miss out. But Charles Rosa, he's a good opponent, so that's going to be a good fight. But the guy I really want to shout is Muhammad Mikayev. He opened the card last time, and I talked a bit about him on my podcast, like his story, and he's undefeated as a pro. He had 20 amateur fights undefeated. He's only 21 years old. He won his first fight by guillotine in March. And mate, this guy's next. He's from Dagestan.
Crazy story.
But, yeah, man. So
does he speak English? I'd love to get him on here.
No, he speaks English. So
does he?
No, well, he was from Dagestan. His dad, what was it? His dad he had to leave Dagestan for political reasons. after losing their mother or something like that. So he immigrated to the UK down by Manchester way when he was like, I don't know how old, and just fought. But you know that Dagestani blood, that doesn't go nowhere, man. So
Yeah, forget about it.
he's like UK champion wrestler, like strikes. I just think he's the next big thing. So I hope it goes well for him tomorrow. But yeah, people just need to watch out for Muhammad Mikayev.
Charles Johnson's a tough guy too.
Yeah, I'm sure. I haven't really seen much, but yeah, hopefully it's a good one. But Muhammad Makayev, I just want to shout out him.
Yeah, and let's see how Nathaniel Wood performs, man. Right, it's a guy who's from the UK, hometown crowd, so he should be like the hometown favorite for the prelims, right?
Yeah, Cage Warriors ex-champion. I feel like everyone who makes it to the UFC who's from the UK was a Cage Warriors champion, but you know, it's not a bad promotion at all. Like, you know, I mean, who have we seen come from there? Fucking Conor McGregor,
Paddy Pimblett. There's a few guys.
Yeah, exactly, man. But yeah, it's going to be a good one, and I hope you're looking forward to it, bro.
I will be looking forward to it. What's the buzz around there for a card like this? Because around here, obviously, you know, it's not. It's in the United, not in the US. But how are things looking over there? So it's social media going crazy, all that stuff.
Yeah, of course, man. Like, it's one of those events in the UK. So, like, obviously, I'm obsessed with MMA. Like, you know, every day I'm going on about MMA. But people like at the pub are like, "Oh yeah, the UFC's on BT Sport this week," and I'm like, "Yeah, no shit." Like, even just people who like, it's like even the casuals are coming in because it's like, you know, the big fights that weekend.
So, it almost feels like a pay-per-view whenever they come to London.
Yeah, man, of course. It's just we don't get this opportunity much. So when it comes around, you know, we're making the most of it.
Yeah, and they're definitely giving it to you guys abundantly now. What has it been, 2 times in the last 3 or 4 months?
Yeah, so it was March, and then Dana, you know what Dana was like. He was like, we need to come back. So
yeah. Dana wants the money, ka-ching, you know what I'm saying? He's like, oh, I hear all the fans, everything. That's money right there.
Exactly, man. Yeah, he was getting beer thrown off him last time. Not on purpose. It's just like when a fighter wins and it goes crazy, people are throwing beers. Dana was like, I don't even mind. Like, that was good. But
one thing is for sure, when it comes to sports, not many do it like the fans in UK. So that's for sure.
Yeah, man. I don't know where that comes from. It's just like, I don't know if there's a lot of alcohol involved or who knows, but we make a good crowd.
That's definitely a part of it. But they're definitely passionate fans nonetheless. And I think that's a good wrapping point. What pay-per-view is next that you'll be coming back on for? Break that one down.
Next week.
Is it next week already?
Pena and Nunez, bro. Yeah.
Awesome.
So you're gonna have to get used to this face again.
So we'll get you back on that one. Fans could expect to see you on the show. We'll break down whatever it is, UFC 270, whatever, 277. There we go.
Yeah, that's the one, bro. That's the one. We'll do it.
That's the one. So we'll catch you guys later. Sam, thanks for coming on the show, my friend, and we'll see you next time. We'll see you next week.
Problem.